Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. We are back, and you know, today is an exceptionally inspiring show. You know, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to introduce two guests that I have in the house. They will inspire you, and you'll be glad you didn't miss this show. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tune into the KSM show. Take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
We're just getting started. The KSM show will be right back.
Oh, we are back, and in the house today, I have to my immediate right, Aunt Sekyi. She is the owner of Melting Moments, owner and MD.
Owner and MD.
Owner and MD of Melting Moments,
Yes.
Okay. And we went to class 1 together, you know. I'm a chick from primary school, but this is where my wife slaps me, but she'll. And on the far right, my far right is Nana Ya Agyeman. And she came to TGIF some years ago, and they are both here today. We're going to have a very, very engaging conversation. Nana Agyeman, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
And I'm starting with Anne. Anne, the last time I met you, you said you had been hit with a rheumatoid arthritis.
Yes.
And
yes.
basically there were things that you wanted to share with the public for people to become aware of certain things.
Exactly. I think there's not much awareness about it. It's an autoimmune disease where...
That's also autoimmune.
Yes, it's also autoimmune. There's so many of them and quite debilitating and genetic. I don't know about the other autoimmune diseases, but rheumatoid is genetic. So my mom had it.
Okay.
And I thought I'd escaped it till I was 50.
Till you were 50?
Yes.
That's when you found out?
Yes. Then I got diagnosed with it. And I think the important thing is for you to even accept that you have such a disease. I think Nani will bear me out on that one. It's even the acceptance it's very serious. You need to be able to come to terms with it, that you do have such a disease before you can even start dealing with it. Because it's not an easy...
What does it do to you exactly?
With rheumatoid, your joints all swell. You know, sometimes you wake up in the morning, you can't get up at all, you can't walk. And it can attack you from the head down, the whole body. It can attack your jaw.
The joints or any part of you?
Any part of your body that has joints, small joints, big joints, but mostly the fingers, your hands. Yes, but any joint.
So what, they're swollen and they hurt?
They're swelling and the pain is, I mean, you could cry like a baby with the pain. It's really debilitating, you know, and it can also affect any of your organs, your heart, your chest, your lungs, and it can kill you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So once they diagnosed it and they told you it's rheumatoid, what did you have to stop doing? In terms of food, in terms of...
Yes, the food bit, I'm not... Well, the jury is out there about food and rheumatoid arthritis. All sorts of patients who have rheumatoid all say some kind of food brings it on. And since I was diagnosed with it, I realized that if I eat meat, and it's very strange, if I eat goat meat, if I eat beef, my joints will start swelling. But I can eat chicken.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I can eat pork. Very strange.
Oh,
and
once you touch goat or beef,
it starts
swells
swelling.
right away, or it takes a day or two?
Maybe sometimes 10, 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, it's that quick.
The trigger is that quick?
It's that quick sometimes, yes. And I've come across other rheumatoid arthritis patients who, one can eat cheese, the other can't. One can eat it. It's very interesting. Very interesting.
So every individual sort of has to know their own triggers.
Yes, you need to
what
know
may
your
trigger
own triggers,
may not
yes.
exactly.
And stress is the biggest one.
Stress?
Yes, it's the biggest one. If you stress too much, your joints can swell.
Wow.
So stress is the biggest one. Yes. And so and exercise is the positive side of it. You need to be on the go all the time, moving your limbs, moving your joints. But when you're laid up in bed, literally crippled, you can't walk, exercise doesn't come in at all.
Yeah.
It's the last thing you think.
So you wake up and sometimes you can wake up and you're attacked?
Yeah. It happened to me quite a few times, and it's frightening. You know, I woke up in the middle of the night with a lot of pain, and I realized I couldn't move my body from the neck down.
Wow.
And I was like, okay.
That's scary.
What is, it's very scary. Very scary. Yeah.
Wow. Now, Naya, you're listening to this and
And going back.
and going back. I remember the first time you came on the show. I don't know, how many years was it?
Yeah, it was in, I think, 2010 or...
early part, yeah, mid.
Yeah.
But are you also autoimmune?
Yes,
Yeah.
mine is also autoimmune. It's multiple sclerosis, according to my doctor. Some other doctors have said it's not multiple sclerosis, it's neuromyelitis optica. Whatever it is, it's to do with the spinal cord and the brain. So my optic nerves are affected. I don't have vision in my left eye. The right eye is off and on, it's temperamental. When it's sunny, I can't see.
Oh, when it's sunny, you can't see?
I think I have to find another country because I have to find a cool, dry place. Wow. Then I can see. And it's more comfortable for me in temperate climate, but I don't like the cold too. So I have, what my doctor says is multiple sclerosis, and it's relapsing. So sometimes I'm doing well, and then I dip, and then I do well, and I dip. And what Anne is saying about food also applies to me. And I find that anytime I eat something that doesn't agree with my stomach, I have bad symptoms. I mean, maybe even medication. I took some medication last year. It was a supplement, and within 3 or 4 days of taking it, I lost my sight. I went blind.
You lost your sight?
Completely.
Wow.
I went blind.
For how long?
For about, I think I was in total blindness for about 4 days.
Whoa.
The doctor quickly gave me methylprednisolone, and that's what they give us, prednisolone. We all have to be on steroids to kind of kickstart the system back. And within about 4 days, the vision returned in the right eye.
Oh, in the right eye.
Yes,
but the left eye is off?
It's off. It's off. And actually, the left eye was also caused by some other medication. Because
that was a side effect of medication?
It was. Well, the doctor disagreed with me that, you know, I went to see an alternative practitioner. You know, when you have this situation, you're always exploring, searching. Yeah. So I went to someone who he practices Chinese medicine, looked at my eyes, looked at my palms, and said, "Oh, your circulation is poor. I'll give you something." So he gave me these pellets. And interestingly, I started popping them without asking my regular doctor, which I usually don't do. For some reason, I started taking them, and I think within 5 days, completely lost sight in the left eye. And since 2008,
and since then,
it hasn't come back. It hasn't come back. So I went back to him. He said, "Oh, it must be a coincidence." So anyway, yeah, I didn't accept that it was a medication. So I think when you have these conditions, like Anne is saying, if you know the triggers, then you know how to live. You know what to avoid and how to just, you know, keep going. But if you don't know the triggers, you keep doing things that bring you relapses or which worsen your condition. And the worse, or the more the relapses, the more the disability, because they lead to disability, and then, like Anne said, they can lead to death. We've lost some of our members, you know, from having attacks, having relapses, and it's not an easy thing.
Do you live in fear?
Interestingly, no. I think, well, maybe uncertainty. I wouldn't call it fear. Uncertainty, because sometimes you're not sure, you know, what next. But I kind of live in the moment. I'm grateful to God, and yeah, we've come so far, and people who are alive and going pop off and die. So, yeah. So
and you've been in this condition for 20 years?
20 years. 20 years.
Wow.
And still going.
Still
going, by God's grace.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Yes. And where do you draw your strength from? Once they told you this, and
initially, it was a bit of a shock, because you know, it's like it all started, you know, years ago with with vomiting. So you think it's malaria, it's typhoid, you go through all the stages, but then finally you get to know it's not the regular illness, it's something chronic, and it's something very different. Even the doctors are not sure. So then that was hard to take. But then after doing a lot of reading, after meeting people with the condition, and I used to tell, I had to be in rehab for some time in the UK, and there were old and young people, and they would be in their wheelchairs, and they would go off to the pub and have a beer. And I'm saying, these people,
wow.
I mean, yeah, so you get to know that, you know, life goes on, in whatever situation. And I think if you can, you know, put your head above being sad and, you know, looking at the negative side, there's always something positive to smile about. I think so.
There's a depressive side to it.
Yeah.
If you don't take care, you easily go into a depressive state. And I got there. You know, got to the stage where you wake up in the morning and you don't want to get up from your bed. You don't want to have a bath. And I think Nani is aware of that. It went on for like a month where, you know, I literally didn't have a bath for like 5 days.
Really?
I didn't want a bath. I didn't want to get up from my bed. I didn't want to eat.
You were in pain, or you were just depressed and you didn't want to...
I was in pain and depressed. You know, I was in pain and depressed. And I think it's Nanaya and, you know, other friends, thinking about my mom, who is not alive, you know, how she was strong and took each day as it came. And then she was in a wheelchair for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
You know, and she was always cheerful, and, you know, so I think I drew all that, you know, as an experience and came out of it. But it's not an easy thing at all. You know, you see other people being depressed and all that, and you think, oh, you always think it'll never happen to you. But we're all human, you know, and it can happen. Yes. So I think, like Nani is saying, you take each day as it comes. Yes. I mean, we're on steroids, you know, what we call the Kung Fu Dong Fu. They named it Kung Fu Dong Fu
steroids,
drug.
they help you and they damage you.
Oh, yes,
and so
yes.
Yeah?
It's like a magical, you know, drug. I remember the first time my doctor gave me, you know, a huge dose. I think it was 40 milligrams a day, you know, and yes, the pain went away just like that.
Wow.
Within like 5, 10, 15,
The pain
you
was
know,
gone.
The pain was gone. And I'm like, hey, you know. But then the side effects, because I also have eye problems. You know, I have dry eyes, and it's a prednisolone, the side effect of prednisolone. Rheumatoid also gives you that kind of dry eye as a negative side. So it's like you're always in a quandary. You're between the devil and the deep blue sea. Yes, that's what it is. Because you're always balancing.
So your mother had it, and you have it.
Yeah.
You worry about your kids having it?
My first daughter has an autoimmune disease. It's not
really?
rheumatoid. She has Graves' disease. Yes.
Really?
So yes, and it has to do with the thyroid. Yeah.
That's why they talk about it being genetic, because with autoimmune conditions, it can come in a different form. Yeah.
So she has Graves' disease. But
Autoimmune, they come in different forms. There could be, and autoimmune simply means that your body is no longer what
your
does.
cells are attacking each other
Your cells
instead of
are- yeah.
protecting it, attacks itself. Yeah. And you get a lot of inflammation. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why we link it to food, because there are some foods that cause inflammation. So if you eat something that will cause inflammation, then it kind of triggers.
Do you know your triggers, specific triggers?
I know some. I know, like eggs, for example, are not very good for me. But I love eggs, so I'll have the occasional egg. I know I'll suffer for it.
Sometimes you make the decision, no, let me have one and
have
suffer.
one and suffer. And then
Really?
I should suffer on a day that I'm not going to be among people, because
Okay.
I don't want to go there. But it gives you really bad symptoms.
Wow.
And yeah.
Wow.
So when you know,
You take a chance. You know what you're about to eat is really going to give you trouble, but you're like, oh, what the hell?
Wow.
So you take some, and then, I mean, last week I was at a friend's party, and I can drink red wine and I'm fine. You know, and they said, oh, have a little Bailey's you know, that's whatever. And I only had like 2 thoughts of babies.
Really?
And they all saw what was happening. My fingers after like...
Right there.
Yeah, after like 30, 40 minutes, it just started swelling.
Wow.
You know, and so there must be something in Bailey's. Yes, there's
Maybe the
milk.
milk.
Yes, maybe the milk. So it's very tricky. Very, very tricky. Yeah.
And I hear the shaker. You found you started. Is it like a support group?
Support group. We
Yeah.
started,
Want the viewers and listeners to know.
yeah. We started as a support group of people with autoimmune conditions and other neurological, because we realized so many people were contacting us and a lot of them didn't have autoimmune, but they still wanted to belong. So we said, okay, generally autoimmune and neurological conditions. And we have met once a month since about 2008, regularly. Yes, we've missed very few. And I think some people really look forward to having such a thing going. And
So what do you discuss when you meet? Do you?
we sometimes just talk about how we are doing. Sometimes it's just, you know, what we are doing now, what medication we are on. But a lot of the time we have some resource person come and talk to us about how to manage. So we have dietitians, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, palliative care, different topics that are, you know, we think will help us manage. We've had psychologists, we've had so many people come talk to us.
Wow.
And some of the members
Is that
really look
number
forward.
somebody can call? You have a contact?
Yes, 020-815-7404.
Okay. So, folks, the number is on the screen right now, and this is if you have any autoimmune or neurological disorder, you can call. It's a support group. So, what's the age range of people that?
We are generally
Young. I mean, you get some really young.
Yeah.
who
How
have
young
it.
is the youngest?
Well,
with the neurological, I think some are very young. We have 3-year-olds,
3
but,
years.
you know, it's more the parents who
Yeah.
are involved. So a lot of children with cerebral palsy, and we have a focal area. We are in the Osuanoho area, so we have a center there where we are helping out with physiotherapy and speech therapy, and also general counseling for the parents. And I must say, a lot of the parents are just mothers. The fathers have taken off.
Yeah.
And I can count the number of
Really?
fathers that are still with their children. It's a sad, and it's not good enough. So, you know, the men just run away.
They just leave.
Yeah.
Yes. If I can mention the names of the men who are in the group, a lot of them are just the mothers.
Really?
Yes. As soon as there's a child with a disability, it's the mother's fault, and then the men go.
Still? I thought
Still.
we're getting more worse
Still.
than that.
Still.
Wow.
We even have some people in court because the men are not looking after the children, and we are taking them on. We have a lawyer who is helping us. So if someone wants that kind of help too, we are there to help. If some mother wants the father to be involved, we can get the law on them, because it's not right.
Wow. Well, it's very inspirational to hear from people who actually have the condition, and to see that you smile and you have. Because outside of it, I'm like, wow, you know, how do you even cope with it? Is it something you're thinking about 24/7? But it starts like that, then you start building the strength.
Yes, it starts like that. I think at the beginning you're really down about it. You're like, oh, you know, how do I deal with it? The fear, you know, because of the unknown, because you don't know what it is. And what they start telling you is, you know, autoimmune is this, is that, and you read a lot about it. You know, if you don't take care, the fear will stay with you, and will not.
What's the
let you
scariest thing you
move on.
read?
That, you know, it would attack my heart.
Wow.
Yes. So when I started getting palpitations, I was like, okay,
Okay.
I'm now on the road to death, you know, and you think you will not wake up the next morning. So and it was very funny. I went to sleep and I thought, okay, if I sleep, I'll die. So I stayed up the whole night.
Because you had the fear of dying in your sleep?
Yes, but nature is very interesting. You know, if sleep has to come,
To come.
you know, whatever you do, it will come.
To come.
Yeah. So when I woke up, I thought, oh, I'm alive. You know, and you go
Wow.
through those kind of
Wow.
things, you know, all the time. But I think at the end of the day, you just have to take each day as it comes. Yeah. Have to take each day as it comes. It's not easy. Yeah. It's not easy.
Well, there are so many people watching us now. We have just about a minute to go. So I want you to, your final that you want.
I would like to say that apart from autoimmune diseases, there are all sorts of other also dangerous diseases around. But the important thing is to be able to take each day as it comes, like I said, embrace whatever it is, and self-pity. It's not going to help. Yes. And
Self-pity is not going to help.
No, no. And then you need the support as well. You need a lot of support.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Nanaya?
Yes, I think a lot of people are still looking for a diagnosis. Some members in our group are looking for diagnosis. We are talking to the NHIS to involve our conditions in what they are putting out there. But having said that, I think even if you don't have a diagnosis, try and do the best you can in whatever situation. Yes, I think that's what I'll say. And then I promise to talk about accessibility. So the disability law talks about access. So I think Sapphire will start with themselves and put ramps into their premises. And please, 2016, 2016, all places should be accessible.
Well, one of my production managers came and said, the lady said she's going to take us on. I said, take us on what? So, in the wheelchair, she said, we are not friendly. We're not this person handicap friendly. I said, oh, okay. So I had to come and hug her and apologize. But yeah, but it's very, very true.
Yeah.
You know, here I am, talk, and I'm having a show, and I don't even think that I need to accommodate somebody coming in a wheelchair. It must be annoying, eh?
Very.
A lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of Ghanaians, because that would be the wrong thing to say, but I've had all sorts of experiences where people see people in wheelchairs, they leave the door open to hit them, they don't hold the door open for, and I think it's really wicked when people do that. You know, there's no kind of, no compassion. They just leave the door open, you know. The person should manage, you know, but I think it's not right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree, and we have to make Sapphire handicap friendly.
Exactly.
Build all the ramps. Give me 2 weeks. I said 1 week, but I thought about it again. Anyway, thank you so much for coming to and sharing this. And I know that there are so many people watching who are learning and finding out that, you know, they also may fall in that, and probably very grateful, you know. What do you do though? You find a doctor that, or you join the group?
You can join the group. Or
Join the group.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm part of the group.
You're part of the
Yeah,
group.
yes.
Okay. So the group is Share Care.
Share Ghana.
Share Care Ghana.
Yes.
Okay. And the number is on your screen again, and it's amazing to have a support system in place that you can go to when you need it. Anne, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'll be coming to Melting Moments.
Yes, please do.
Nanaya,
Yes.
we have a show coming. I can't publicize that yet, but we have a show. All right, put your hands together for them one more time. And thank you so much. All right.